Hey guys, so today we're doing a review of circumference and area of circles. So let's get started. Number 1 says, how do you find the radius when given the diameter of a circle? Write your answer in a complete sentence. So remember, we have a circle and our diameter goes all the way across the circle. And then we have our radius, which goes from the center to the edge of the circle. Okay. So that should help you with number 1. Number 2 says, what is the formula to find the circumference of a circle when given the diameter? So we're just going to refer to our cheat sheet or reference chart in order to write our formula. Number 3 says, what is the formula to find the area of a circle? So again, we're going back to our formula chart. We're going to go to area and then find circle. And we will write our formula. Okay, number 4 says, what does r squared mean? So remember, when we're working on our area formula, it says r squared. So what we talked about in class the other day is when a number is squared, that means we're multiplying the number times itself. Okay, so remember, we're not multiplying it by 2 by the exponent. We're multiplying the number that many times. Okay. All right, so now we're down to the real problems. Number 5 says, if the radius of the circle is 9, what is the circumference of that circle? Okay, so first we're analyzing the problem. So we're going to draw our circle, and it says the radius is 9. So I go from the center to the edge of the circle. Okay, so that's the first piece of information I know. It says, what is the circumference? So my question's asking me for the circumference. And it says to use 3.14 for pi. So pi equals 3.14. Okay, so that was my analyze step. Now that I have all that information, I'm going to plan and solve. So I am going to plan out using my circumference formula. Circumference equals, and there's 2 of them. One of them is 2 pi r, and since it has an r in it, we're going to use it when we have a radius, or there's pi times diameter. So we're going to use that one when we have a diameter. But since the problem gives us a radius, we're going to use 2 pi r. And now we're going to fill in our numbers. So 2 came from our formula. Pi, we were told, is 3.14. And then our radius is 9. And the great thing with multiplication is that you can multiply it in any order. So once we solve it, so I'll do this first one with you. So 2 times 9 is 18. So I'm going to do 3.14 times 18. 4 times 8 is 32. 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 25. 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Add them up. 2, 5, 6, 5. There's 2 numbers to the right of the decimal, so 2 numbers to the right of the decimal. So 56.52, and that's units squared. So the area of the circle is 56.52 square units. All right. So let's go to number 6. Number 6 is, what is the circumference of a circle with a diameter of 28? This one is telling us that we need to use 22/7 for pi. So our first step is to analyze the question. We're going to draw a picture since there is not one. It says the diameter is 28. And it says that pi is 22/7. It says, what is the circumference? So the question's asking for circumference. All right, so step 2 is plan and solve. So now we're going to go to our formula chart and find the right formula. If it's asking us for circumference, we go and look at one of the 2 circumference formulas. And then since the problem gave us our diameter, we want to find the formula with the d and write it here. So circumference equals pi times diameter. And then we can plug our numbers in, just like number 5, and solve. All right, let's go to number 7. So you should have pressed pause and solved the other problems before you're moving on. So with number 7, it says, what is the diameter of, it says, if the diameter of the circle is 14, what is the area of that circle? It says use 22 over 7 for pi. Okay, so we're analyzing the problem. It says the diameter is 14. So diameter is 14. And it says what is the area? So question is asking for area, which means I'm going to need the radius. So the radius is 7. And let's see, pi is 22 over 7. So since I'm doing the area of a circle, well, there's only one formula for area of a circle. So I go to my formula chart and it says area equals pi r squared. So in this case, pi is going to be 22 over 7, and I need r squared. So r squared is the radius, so 7 times itself. 7 times 7 is 49. I'm going to go ahead and put that over 1 since I'm dealing with fractions. And if you remember back, I told you every time this number is going to be divisible by 7. So 49 divided by 7 is 7. And so now all we need to do is 22 times 7 to get our answer. Don't forget to go back and make sure that we answered the question. All right, number 8. Number 8 says that Lily opened a bag and 5 dimes fell out. If the radius of each dime is 6 centimeters, what is the combined area of all 5 dimes? All right, so let's give this a shot. So she opened the bag and 5 dimes fell out. So we have a circle and there's 5 dimes. The radius of each dime is 6. And it says, what is the combined area of all 5 dimes? So combined area of all 5. So we're looking for the area, right? And then there's 5 of them. So times 5. I'm going to label my circle. Okay. So now I'm going to make my plan. So when I plan it, I know I need to find the area first. So area equals pi r squared. And then there's 5 of them. So I'm not going to forget to multiply by 5. Okay. So once our formula is written, we're going to go ahead and fill in our numbers. So instead of pi, we're going to use, it says pi is 3.14. And then our radius squared. So if our radius is 6, then radius squared is 6 times 6 is 36. And then once we do all of that, we can multiply by the 5 since it's asking for the combined area, which means all of them together of 5 dimes. You guys should be solving these on your own before you move forward. Again, we are on a review day, so you should be able to work mostly independently, and your test is a week from today, so next Thursday. All right, number 9 says Gerard went on vacation and took a walk each day around Lawson Park for some exercise. The park is a large circle and has a radius of 1.5 miles. If Gerard walked around the park, so you need to think about what's around the park mean, each morning for 4 days, what is the total distance that he walked? Okay, so this one's a little more specific, so make sure you're paying attention as you're analyzing the problem and writing the facts down from this problem. All right, let's go to number 10. So number 10 says that Rose purchased a new house and wanted to put a circular garden that has a diameter of 8 feet. To keep the animals out, she needed to put a fence around the outside of the garden, right? So if I'm talking around it, think about what am I talking about? I'm talking about circumference, right? And then it says, how much fencing does Rose need? Okay, so that one's pretty straightforward. Next, for part B, it says now that the fence is built, she has to fill the garden with mulch. So I'm talking about the inside of the circle, which is what? The area. So if mulch costs $4.50 per square foot, how much will the mulch cost her? So per means we're multiplying, right? And square foot is our area. So in this one's a multi-step problem even more, because we have to find how much space is inside the garden, and then for each square foot it's going to cost us $4.50. So each and per both mean we're going to end up multiplying that final area of the circle by $4.50. All right, number 11. So Lenny makes cupcakes for events. For a birthday party, Lenny makes 120 cupcakes and covers each one with sprinkles. If the radius of each cupcake is 1 inch, what is the area covered by the sprinkles on all of the cupcakes for the birthday party? Okay, so it gives us lots of information. So we have this circle, we have 120 cupcakes covered in sprinkles. If the radius of each cupcake is 1 inch, so radius is 1 inch. What is the area? So I'm looking for the area of all the cupcakes. Okay, so the area of 1 cupcake is what I'll find, but I need the area of 120 of them. So times 120 cupcakes. And it says that pi is going to be 3.14. All right, and the radius is 1 inch. So that should give you enough information to plan your multi-step problem. Number 12, Melanie has a pup named Rocky and made him a gigantic playpen at their farm with a diameter of 56 feet. What is the distance of the fence to keep him safe? So think about it. Rocky is a dog and he has to be safe. So he needs to be kept inside his playpen, right? So think about, where would the fence go? And last but not least, number 13, if a circle has a circumference of 15.7 inches, what is the diameter? Okay, so circumference and diameter means C equals pi times D. Plug in the numbers you know. So circumference is 15.7 equals pi. We know pi is 3.14. And what is the diameter? So remember, this is just like if we said 6 is 3x, right? I want to get x by itself, so I divide by 3. And x would be 2. So same process. So you're going to divide your 15.7 by 3.14. All right, good job.